Barber College Success, brought to you by Craig Charles of Crown Cutz Academy, Johnson City, Tennessee, Crown Cutz Academy, Bristol, Virginia, and now Proficient Nail Academy, downtown Johnson City, Tennessee. Spreading love the Tri-City way is one way, but check this. Spreading love the Crown Cutz way is the only way. Coming to you live and direct, downtown Johnson City, from Maypop Media, the man himself, Mitch on the ones and twos, live.
We got to put Maypop Media in there.
Coming at you. Yes, sir. Again, shout out to FeedSpot for ranking us in the top 25 podcasts in the world and top 25 podcasts in the United States. I think in the top 3 at that. And our favorite spot, you said one of our friends is going to Madagascar, right?
Madagascar. He was already there the day the tornado happened.
Oh, man.
I missed out.
So we're going to try to get something live from you guys in Madagascar. When you told me that, Emma, I jumped.
It blew me away.
But again, let me let you guys introduce yourselves before y'all put the pads on.
Joe the Bar from Bristol, Tennessee. J Bob on Instagram.
How many Dennis Rodman shirts you got?
A lot.
That's the second. You wore a Dennis Rodman shirt?
Dennis Rodman is fire.
That's a totally different one.
It's a man mixed with personalities.
He had blue hair in the last one that I seen you wore.
I love it.
Okay, respect. Am I your barber? Virginia. Shout out Virginia. I'm from VA. All these dudes from Tennessee. So I just realized that. What we were talking about, Jordan, we was talking to him about responsibilities of the landlord, man. That was the kind of conversation we were talking about for the podcast. But I don't know. How do you feel? Jordan, how do you sweet? You got some stuff that needs to be done? What's happening?
Yeah, so I got I really everything's completely done.
Oh yeah, everything's done.
But
Pivot.
We just got. I just got some some rugs and the decor.
You got some loose ends to tie up.
Yeah, I got some
the wet grass rug.
No,
you got the wet grass rug.
No, I didn't get that. That junk's too much. That's like $500.
Hey man, you got to deck out your space.
No, y'all gotta come see it. No, for real, y'all need to come see it.
That wet grass rug is like thousands of dollars.
Yeah, it depends on how big it is.
When you moved in your shop, Craig, was it ready to go? Like, did you have to do a lot of stuff to it?
I had to do the floor. I had one of my friends. He came and did the tiles for me, but aesthetically, as far as the walls, everything was there. We just redid the tiles.
Did you have problems like with your building, like throughout the years? Like what was it like? Did you ever come to landlord and be like, "Yo, I need this done"?
No. Only thing happened one time during for like 30 days, AC went out.
Ooh, 30 days?
Yeah, but yeah.
Was it summertime?
Yeah, it was.
Oh my gosh. That's horrible. Y'all cooking in there.
Sweating, trying to do his lineup. Trimmers getting turned, changed volumes.
30 days.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't one of those hot summers, so it was kind of cool. We had fans.
What was the reasoning? Why did it take so long?
One of a part. It just took a long to get the part. Yeah, it was about 27.
I'd have stole a part.
You don't just get parts for them ACs, man, for HVAC units. You just gotta, I think he had to go to China or something going on parts. So I don't know.
He had to fly out to China himself.
I don't know. It took a while, and it was disastrous. We had to make the bacon, man. We had to cook. We had to prepare. We had to work.
Ain't nothing worse.
Barbers can't stop 30 days. That's a long time.
I mean, I've been in the shop multiple times with the AC out.
For real?
And that junk is horrible.
100%.
That's so horrible.
Client sweat. You put the cape on the client and it's wet. You got to change capes. I better do that.
No, but we had the windows open. We had some fans. That was that worked out. It wasn't as hot. If it was one of the hot summers, we'd be in trouble. But it was a little bit murky. But we worked it out.
The one day when the HVAC went out for me, it was the two guys I work with. One of them had surgery. Mm-hmm. The other one was out sick for a week. My HVAC at home was messed up, and the HVAC at the shop was messed up. So I was cutting by myself in the shop, no AC, by myself, and then I go home and had no AC at home. So it was a lot. It was horrible. It was terrible.
Oh my gosh.
I think the thing is you got to communicate with your landlord. Hey, can I this is an important part of my business. If I don't have the AC, I can't work. It's uncomfortable to cut hair. without with being uncomfortable. Hey, can you help me on this rent? Can you at least subsidize do something about the rent for this month, or
And
maybe
also
half or
doing
something.
the research for the stuff that you need in there, like stuff that you might not even think about.
Oh yeah, every state is different.
Yeah, so if you do like they might like have a spot and you have to have certain stuff requirements and stuff to even be in there.
The
So
basic, you got to have hot and cold running water. That's a must. You got to have a working restroom. That's a must. I don't see how people can be out there without a hot and cold running water at a shop open on a restroom. Yeah, that's tough.
Are those things standard? Like, is it so when you lease a spot, are they required by law to give you these things, or does it have to be inside the lease agreement?
I mean, before you open, you got to have that.
I'm saying on the part of the landlord. Like,
I mean, I know in Tennessee it says before you move into your shop, you gotta have hot and cold running water and a restroom.
But what the landlord says, nah.
I mean, well, you can't rent there.
Yeah.
You shouldn't rent there because why would you want to go in a shop? So whatever, you have a wife, you have a couple kids, your wife coming out use the restroom real bad, and she just know she's gonna use the restroom when she go to the shop. It's not working. Mm-hmm. You know how messed up she would feel? How messed up you would feel?
Yeah. You right. So what? So okay. So the landlord's your homie, and
If he's your homie, well, you gotta have a communication. You guys gotta communicate. Be like, yo,
yeah, hold him accountable.
Of course. He shouldn't charge you rent at all. Till that is
That's another thing people don't think about. You can negotiate a lot of things. If I paint this, redo the floors, and put a new toilet in here, you give me rent off for 2 months. Because that's saving him. He ain't got to pay a contractor to come in here and do everything. It's saving him money.
That's a great point. Hey, I'm gonna put the bathroom together. I'm gonna get a plumber to come in and work this out. Just give me 6 months rent.
And that's one thing that people don't think about. When you become a business owner, like you can barter. Like you don't just have to, it doesn't always have to be cash figures. There's things you could do to negotiate that is not necessarily money. Like you could actually use your own physical labor to negotiate.
You do have some negotiation power.
yeah, so that's something that you only learn when you go through it, because you ain't gonna really. I mean,
we're telling you right now,
but you're telling you right now. But a lot of people probably but still.
Well, the key is the number one universal language across the world is communication.
Yeah.
So if you can communicate and let people know, hey, this is what I have, this is what I don't have, and when they tell you in advance, you're like, yo, I can't work with that. But if you don't communicate with your landlord, I mean, it's not his fault. That he gonna try and shaft you, and then you find out later.
How do you find a spot though? When you're looking for spots, say cold turkey, I'm opening a barbershop. I know I want to open a shop. What are some of the things you should look for when opening your first shop?
Parking space.
Okay, that's a good one.
Hot and cold running water.
Yeah, the basic.
A bathroom.
Just
the restroom.
It depends on how big you want the shop to be. Like if you want it to be pretty big or a decent size,
or suite.
Yeah, or suite.
It just baffles me. I'm thinking there ain't no way you can start a shop without the bathroom.
Yeah,
there ain't no way, because people use the bathroom, especially people coming. People come to your spot expecting to use the restroom sometimes.
Yeah, they walk straight in there like, oh man, I'm glad I made it. Like they ran to the finish line at the end of a marathon. They're like, where's your bathroom? when your first spot, how'd you find your first spot?
Who, me?
Yeah.
I'm just talking to my landlord. I mean, my landlord, I told him what I want to do. He's like, I got a spot for you.
Oh, who you rent from now?
Yeah. I was like, well, I own my spot now, my place now. But when I started, he's like, hey, I got a place for you.
Did you cut his hair?
Nah, I just went in. I went in there looking for an apartment. He's like, hey, what do you do? I mean, most landlords, they ask you what you do. They want to know if you're going to be able to pay the rent.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm a barber. He's like, you looking to open the spot? I was like, I'm looking to open the spot. He's like, I got a nice space for you. Mm-hmm. And we negotiated, and my rent was negotiated so sweet where it escalated to the rent I wanted it to be.
That's dope.
Yeah. So when I started out, just again,
negotiating.
Communicating.
Yeah.
Communication breaks down barriers.
A lot of times
make you connect with people when you communicate.
Well, a lot of people that lease to you too, they'll give you a couple months free just to help you adjust, because they know that you're going through that adjustment period. Like, hey, don't worry about this month or the first 2 months. Get comfortable, get ready, because they know how it is to start a business, and you can really work that out. Now, some people buy the book like, yo, I need my money by the first. Bank needs money by the first. I need my money by the first, which is fair too.
But look around, give yourself up to and look at how did yours go when you started out?
So when I found mine, shout out Michael Taylor. he and Craig too. You know, I had a conversation with them, and it basically came down to like whenever you're ready to open a shop, you'll know. Like there'll be it'll be a perfect spot, or it'll be, you know, you'll just know, you'll feel it. So the spot came open on downtown Main Street area, huge windows, right in the middle of a three-way intersection. I mean, it's right across from, you know, bar, restaurant.
Perfect.
I mean, right in the middle of downtown, man. You
Perfect.
know, whenever they shut the street down for festivals, it's there. Huge windows. And I mean, it's not 100% perfect. Like there's a few things that could, you know, like the floor kind of slopes and part of it, which kind of limits my space as far as like cutting space. But I mean, it was great. I mean, it's super visible. And the landlords, I actually cut their hair. And I knew them through my father, and I didn't know who had the space originally, but I was like, "Yo, I want the space." Call, and they're like, "Hey, if you want it, it's yours." So they even offered me to give me a couple of months free, but I was like, "Nah." I mean, I wanted to go into this, and I wanted to feel that pressure. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to know what it felt like, because I felt like if somebody kept giving me handouts, you know, even people. I mean, it's one thing to be blessed, and I respect that. People bless me. I'm getting better at receiving blessings. But I didn't want to go into this. I wanted to feel what it felt like to pay that rent. You know what I'm saying? So I could adjust to it. Because if you don't ever get adjusted to that and somebody's always carrying you, then you'll be pacified the whole time. But, man, I love my spot. I can't complain. It did need some things. Like when I got there, the hot water wasn't working. That was a problem. Some of my electrical outlets on one side, and, you know, we need our outlets. We barbers. You know, some of my electrical outlets weren't working, so they had to come bring an electrician in, run some more conduit, and get the electricity going. Me and my homie, who I cut his hair, he worked at Sherwin-Williams. I need to paint a wall, and you know, a lot of your clients will help you do this stuff too, man. Like you got clients that are contractors; they, you know, do all kinds of stuff, or just good at that kind of stuff.
You just gotta ask. You never know.
Communication.
Yeah. Communicate. Use your resources. You don't realize as a barber, you have at your disposal almost any type of service provider, or any service you need.
They might be able to even cut your deal or whatever. It don't matter.
Just because of the people who sit in your chair.
That is the biggest asset to being a barber is your chair, the people you want. And a lot of people recognize that. That's why people solicit the barbers a lot too.
Think about it. How much extra does that cost? Just having that extra relationship with people like that. That's something that's priceless. Having that relationship with people who you have at your disposal just to get you almost anything that you need out there, anything you want to put your hands on and touch, you need help with. You have someone you know who come through your chair who can help you with.
My landlord, I cut their hair. My CPA, I cut their hair. My there was another one.
Pastor, attorney.
Pastors, I cut their hair. It was funny you said that. There was another one I was going to say.
HVAC.
I cut the dude that runs an HVAC business. I cut his hair.
That's cool.
Chamber of Commerce.
The Chamber of Commerce, the woman that's the CEO, I cut her son's hair.
The newspaper.
The newspaper, I just cut the woman that writes the articles for the newspaper's husband's hair last week.
I say like
the college.
I cut 3 professors from the college that's downtown.
The medical school.
I cut the CEO of the hospital that works downstairs. The
high school.
The high school. I cut the superintendent of the school board's hair.
Look, I got he over here. Name is
the restaurant.
I got my landlord, actually, the restaurant across the street, the landlord, that's his wife.
You see what I'm saying?
I mean, it's
he over here naming people like his accolades. I'm like,
it's not even accolades. It's just like that's my
the relationship
you're in
built.
touch with the community.
That's dope, though.
You're tapped in.
Dope.
I mean, and you only know that. And if you're not talking to your clients, there's no way you can know that either.
Yeah, because like last week I actually cut. And I was like, I mean, I need somebody to do these outlets. Like one of my friends that I went to school with, and he was like, yeah, bro, I went to school for electrician.
So that's
chief of police.
I was like,
cut the chief of police hair.
So that brings out another point. If you're a barber and you're introvert and you're not gonna talk to your clients, you're missing out on so many important things.
That's 60% of your business is the resources that you have through your clients.
You limiting your resources.
My banker, the dude I get my loan through for my business, I cut his hair.
You delaying your progress.
I cut a dude that's a news anchor. He was telling me he can help me with putting advertisements on his website for the news.
What?
Yeah, and he was
I ain't got one of them. I was like, yo, that's cool. I got the newspaper though.
But check this out. Think about the people who you miss out on if it takes you a year and a half to start talking to your clients.
Yeah. That's the first thing you should focus on. I mean, it's really hard in school because and when I didn't go to school, but when I first started cutting hair as an apprentice, I was so locked in on trying to give a good haircut. I just know I couldn't chew gum and cut at the same time. But it just comes with time.
But that's where you work on it in school. Like I said, you didn't go to school, but when you're in school, that's what things you have to work on first. Building your relationships, securing those important bonds with your classmates, with your instructors. Learn how to keep a valuable conversation. Learn how to just build yourself up, because you can't wait when you're in the shop to do it, because you're gonna miss out. You miss out if you wait to do these things. And that's a big thing. Why do most barbers wait to practice when they get in the shop? When they want to get big bucks for a haircut?
I don't know if it's just, I think they just don't understand like what the industry is. And I feel like if you don't have that part of the barbering, it makes it so dull. Like you might as well go work in a factory if that's what you're going to do, because it's just so boring.
Because students waste so much time in school not practicing and working on things.
Yeah, just trying to have the best haircut.
I think it's just they were trying to work on one thing at a time.
Like this one dude, one student last week, he's like, man, it's 2:20, it's like 2:15. He's like, man, I gotta go to work at 3:30. I'm like, why don't you get you that cut right there? He's like, well, I don't think I'll make it. I gotta go work at 3:30. I'm like, it's 2:15 right now. But students, a lot of time, when they feel like they can cut hair, they get comfortable at a cut, they just don't want to cut no more.
And that happens a lot.
Which is stupid.
Yeah, it happens a lot. But then guess what? When you go in the shop, they know there's no, hey, well, I mean, they do it sometimes. Oh, I can't take that cut. I'm going to go to the bathroom. That happens because the way you are in school, you're going to be in the shop. I mean, that's just how it is. If you are willing to grow and make yourself uncomfortable and put yourself in a position to be better, then you're going to do that in the shop and you're going to be successful. But if you're ducking haircuts in school, if you're showing up late, hanging out, smoking cigarettes, well, vaping now. If you're out vaping and or smoking blunts in the parking lot, then you're going to be that kind of barber. And then I'll tell you what, I mean, it's easy to be as an instructor, being in school and seeing the people that's doing what they're doing. You know who's going to be successful, who's not going to be successful, right there in school.
Off the rip,
easily. Yeah, day one.
Yeah, you could see him from a mile.
Yeah, I mean, it's sad, you know, and it's unfortunate because you feel like they're already wasting their time.
How you not want to practice at the place you say you're going to learn? How you not want to utilize all the hours, the minutes, the seconds at schools to get better? Because when you get in the shop, you got to start over again. You think you arrived because you're the best hair cutter at the school.
Trey, you cut a news anchor?
Yeah.
I got to get to the city. I ain't got no news anchor.
I mean, but you know what I'm saying? How you think you're just going to arrive just because you're the best barber at the school? And what most students don't notice, when they look back and they look at their haircuts in school, they'll be like, oh man, I had so much to learn. I had so much to learn. And a lot of barbers, when I talk to them now, it's like, man, I didn't utilize my time in school. But I get it. You don't know what you don't know. But when you have someone in front of you with experiences telling you how to build yourself up, how to be the best barber possible, how to build clientele.
Yeah, say knowledge is power, but knowledge is only power when you apply it. A lot of y'all listen to this podcast and you're probably shaking your heads and you don't know what you don't know. You know, sometimes we're just talking at you because you haven't experienced the things we're telling you, but you just file it in your mental Rolodex. And when these things come up, you can be like, hey, because honestly, the journeys are the same. I mean, we have different journeys, but this barber journey is almost the same path in a way. And that's why we can all relate. So just file in your Rolodex. You have to deal with something. You might have dirtbag shop owners. You might have a hard time to talk to people. You might, might have higher goals for yourself, but you got to temper your expectations right now to kind of take those baby steps. And we all been through those, and we're still going through them right now. So knowledge is only a power when you apply it. So
and it's going to be tough when you go into school. It's going to be some tough times, but it's just called life. You're going to have tough times when you're out of school. You got the decisions you got to make when you're out of school as far as like your work, career, and your family.
Yeah, and I saw this video where it said, it was talking about risky. And the dude, he was in front of a chalkboard and he was like, marriage is risky. Not being single is risky. Being a good employee is risky. not being a good employee is also risky. So like you choose which one you want. I mean, which one? It's either way you're going to have challenges and it's going to be hard and difficult. So would you rather have a high standard for yourself and still deal with tough situations, or would you rather have a low standard for yourself and still deal with those even harder situations? I would say I think it's a lot harder to be a dirtbag than it is to just try to do the right thing.
Oh, by far.
I feel like people that try to go around and cheat and get around and move circles around stuff, you're working 10 times harder than just dealing with the right thing to do.
And then when you get caught, your cover's blown. You got to start all over.
Exactly.
It's harder to be mean and unnecessary than it is to just be great. I think it's in my opinion.
No, you're right.
Hey, man, I don't think people understand. Like, I had to talk with the student today at a conference, and one of the things was I try to let the student know is that you have 3 months left of school. You want to take a leave of absence because you are not happy at your job that you work after school and you need more money. So you want to take 3 months off. And typically, people who take time off, it's hard for them to come back into the groove. I'm like, why would you want to delay your progress or your process till you're working at something that you love? Why would you want to delay that? Because life is going to happen again. Because you take a leave of absence, and then life happens during that leave of absence. You're going to be like, man, I should have went through school. I should have just finished that. I only had 3 months left. Why would you want to delay your progress? Why would you want to delay your greatness? You have to think about that. Everybody is going through something. Most people have a story to tell when they trying to gain some type of gratification for something they're trying to do. Most people have a story to tell. I guarantee if you talk to about 100 people, do a survey and ask them, what was the toughest thing? What was getting your process like at your desired skill? Whether it be like plumbing, electrician, nursing, whatever it is, or barbers, or whatever it is, any type of profession that you had to go and put on the line and study, and you had something to gain or you had something to lose. What was that like? Tell me your story. And some people tell you, man, I had to work 3 jobs when I was in school. And those stories you kind of like to hear because you're like, man, you put it in.
You got to drive an hour and a half one way.
Hour and a half. Man. So it's interesting. So I'm at the school in Bristol last week, and we had a group of new students come in. And this one guy, he said, and we're going to get them on the podcast. He said, I've told all these guys my story, but I'm going to tell you. I was like, man, I was a doctor for 9 years in the medical field doing surgery.
Dude was he's a surgeon?
Yeah.
Right. Dang, that's
Get
crazy.
him on a podcast tomorrow.
And he's like, yeah, I wanted to be a barber. So you know what I'm saying? And that's not even it. He drives 2 hours each way.
He's a surgeon?
And he lives in Kentucky, but he understands hard work. And he understands.
Of course he does.
But he's a surgeon.
But my point is,
Ain't no pressure cutting hair.
I mean, yeah, there is. I mean, our industry is respectful.
I mean, 100%.
You know what I'm saying? So our industry is worthy.
I want to talk about a dude
I know, but a dude that
people
cuts
over.
people on people for a
I
living.
mean, that makes it. Does barbering make you happy?
Yeah.
He hears how barbering make you. Barber's making 6 figures. So if you're making 6 figures or making good money without the stress, where would you want to go? Where would you want to be? I salute the guy. I wasn't like, hey, man, your profession is better than mine. I'm like, yeah, our profession is dope. And I see that. You should come to our profession. That's what I thought. I wasn't like putting his profession high above ours.
Well, I mean,
I was just like, yo, welcome to the industry. You're going to love it.
That's why I was going to school first before I dropped out. I was a surgeon. Then I transitioned to radiology.
how far did you get?
2 semesters.
See, Jordan wasn't going at 12 o'clock.
Community college?
Jordan wasn't going at 12 o'clock. He wanted to go to 12 o'clock. You can't do it. You're going to school to be a surgeon.
Surgery? I don't know. You got to be well rested.
Yeah,
You got to be 100%.
You want to go to
But it
12
also
o'clock.
wasn't what I really wanted to do. It was just one of those things that your parents could, like, when I grew up, my dad was like, yeah, he's going to be a lawyer or he's going to be a doctor. You know?
Jordan, I don't think it's fair for you to tell people that's what you were going to school for. You made it through 2 semesters of 8 years of school. Actually, it's like 10 years of school. Because once you get through medical school, then you got to go do your residency for surgery.
I was just thinking about the
That's
money.
like 2 years.
I was like, in my mind, I want to do something that I can go to school for the shortest amount of time and make a lot of money. And I think radiology was like 75,000 for 5 years or something like that. And I was like, I'll go with that.
And you could do barber and make that.
Yeah,
11 months.
But I didn't know that barber. I didn't know. Like, you know,
Most people,
like
most
you said,
people
I don't know
don't.
what I don't know.
Most people don't.
So
And that's our message to kind of push this industry. And that's what we do this podcast for, to let people know, hey, this is a $36 billion industry yearly. This industry is love. $36 billion a year. So there's enough for each one of us who come into this industry to get a piece of the pie. There's plenty. And it's our responsibility and our jobs to keep pushing this industry where it needs to be in the right direction and keep validating it and not let no one disrespect our industry and let people know, hey, we love what we do. We love our job. This industry is great. You need to take care of this industry because this industry will take care of you. You got to put in something in this industry to get something out. And that's what it's about. So what you guys think?
Yes, sir. Pick your hard. Pick your hard. Being a great, good barber, doing the right thing, that's difficult. Being a dirtbag, that's even harder.
it is hard to be a dirtbag. But I mean, everything in life is a risk.
Playboy.
Literally.
Playboy.
Literally everything in life is a risk. If you want to do something, it's a risk. I mean,
Choose your heart.
walking outside is a risk. You never know.
I like that. Choose your heart. Because, you know, it's a candy world and we just all in it, am I?
It's a candy world.
Yeah.
I can't take. Somebody said pick your hard. I can't take that. Somebody chose.
I mean, hey, but still, we got to give. But again, what y'all think about the podcast, though? We hit 2 of them today. What you guys think?
It was a good one. Very good one. Very controversial on the first one, but
I mean,
that's a topic I feel like that was very needed to be talked about. I feel like a lot of people feel about that one, but it's a good podcast.
You about to go through a metamorphosis of being an owner. Your whole mind about to change.
Controversy is good. What you think, Mr. Am?
What I think it's great, man. I'm excited to talk about this surgeon dude. I don't know why we have him on today. I didn't even know that. That's crazy.
That is crazy.
I mean, I just met him last week at the school. I mean, that's why we got to
I'm gonna have to meet him.
go up there and cut. You don't go up there no more and teach?
No, I do every now and then, but I haven't been for the past month. I ain't gonna lie.
Jordan, what's up? You depriving those kids.
I'm gonna start going again. I just had to get off
Jordan,
some stuff.
see what I'm saying? You depriving them kids, the students.
Look, I'm trying to help where I can.
This dude right here. Again, Barber College Success brought to you by Craig Charles of Crown Cutz Academy, JC, Johnson City, Tennessee, that is, and Bristol, Virginia. Spreading love the Tri-City way is one way, but spreading love the Crown Cutz way is the only way. Again, shout out for Feed Spot for ranking us in the top 25 podcasts in the world and also top 25 podcasts in the country. Top 3, that is, for barber content. Again, like, share, subscribe, check us out. Keep coming in with the love, the messages, questions that you may have. And yeah, also, we are looking for a DJ to be on the podcast. We can Zoom you in. You can start the podcast, however you may be. If you know someone who's a good DJ who wants to rock with us and open up the show, we're looking for someone who can spin those tunes on the 1s and 2s. You know, we're just trying to show love for 50 years of hip hop. We want to come in with something new. What's your last words, Mr. Ammi and Mr. J?
My last words? Man, it's the first time I've been stumped. I'm going to say don't be a dirtbag. I got Mitch laughing. That works.
Y'all know that. I'm gonna start you saying that word, dirtbag.
It's addicting.
What did Kanye say in that song?
What?
Give it up for the...
Oh, yeah. I ain't going to say it. Dirtbags.
Oh, man. Jay, what's your last words? That's it?
Yeah. Nah, I ain't it. Live life, have fun. Like I always say, I'm gonna make that into a t-shirt. Don't be scared to risk. Don't be take a risk. Don't be scared to fail. Continue to grow. Yeah, just do you.
The undisputed. Choose your heart. And again, shout out to Maypop Media for the engineer in the back, doing a wonderful job of always keeping us on set, keeping this thing going. If you want to do a podcast. My man Mitch of Maypop Media can do a podcast from you wherever you are in this country. Hit him up, send him a message, and he'll take care of you. He can do a podcast if you're in Cali, if you're in China, if you're in Arizona, if you're in Madagascar. He can set it up for you like you're in the studio, live and direct. Make it seem seamless and make it seem easy so you can do what you do. Shout out to my man Mitch from Maypop. One time for your mind. Peace.